Hi guys, welcome to the Bright Planning channel. Today we'll be covering the story of Moipone Zulu from my Bluets episode 13 on Mzazuetu. Let's do this. My name is Brad Pasi, and my 7 years experience as an accountant and wealth advisor has made me realize that people lack a functional relationship with money. I'm here to help. Moipone Zulu, also known as 14 million, from Odendalsrus, won the 13.9 million rand lotto jackpot in April 2015. Just like many that win large sums of cash, she wanted to break free from poverty and live her best life. We start her journey immediately after she receives her whopping 13.9 million rand. Let's see how she blew it. Looking at Moipone's case, they talked about basic financial planning and general money management, of which in my opinion was not enough to just invest 5 million for the kids and 2 million each for herself and the father of her kids. I assume for the kids' investment, she took an endowment policy, which is a medium to long-term investment. In other words, it has a 5-year minimum term, of which is great for tax benefits and protection from creditors. However, if you cancel or withdraw before 5 years is complete, there are big penalties to pay. Subsequently, she gave 100,000 each to her 3 sisters and 50,000 to her brother. My main concern here is donations tax. Donations tax is charged at 20% of the value of donations paid out. Individuals are allowed to donate up to 100,000 tax-free per year. Any amount above will be subject to donation tax of 20%. This also includes any property disposed of free of charge. I don't believe their financial advice included this. Anyways, she also paid out 200,000 to the driver that assisted them. This is not a donation but a transaction for a lifetime of driving services. Unfortunately, this is not a properly executed transaction. The driver is being opportunistic and Moipone is being emotionally charged to give money away. She should have drafted a contract with the driver and drafted terms of service in order to uphold the deal. Furthermore, she donated 20,000 to her friend, buying her a shack and furnishing it. And lastly, she donates 1 million to her brother-in-law, whom she does not get along with, but did it simply because she had enough money. At this point, she has donated a total of 1.3 million with a possible donations tax payable of 254,000. Not looking good. With an estimated remaining balance of 3.5 million, at this stage, she is only starting to actually focus spending on herself, which is quite interesting. Nonetheless, her financial expenditure is not ideal, and she is creating a lifestyle demand of which she does not have an income to support on. She makes the following purchases: house in Valka, 1.7 million rand, furniture, 200,000, VW Tiguan, 500,000, guest house business, 2.2 million rand, of which she financed via investments from herself and her baby daddy. Subsequently, also her baby daddy made the following purchases: an Audi A4 valued at 450,000, of which he crashed within a month, VW GTI Black valued at 225,000, which he bought after the A4 and also crashed it within the same month, and proceeded to buy another VW GTI, but white this time, valued at 265,000, of which he crashed 3 days after purchase. After that, he bought a BMW with an undisclosed model and purchase price, totaling his total purchase of vehicles at 1.5 million. Also, Moipone left her baby daddy for a new policeman. This was a lucrative relationship for the guy, as she purchased the following items for a new man: BMW valued at 135,000, a Corsa Bakkie valued at 65,000, motorbike also valued at 65,000. If that was not enough, her man advanced a loan of 100,000 to himself. This is most alarming, as he had access to a banking platform to complete this transaction. There was no contract drafted to acknowledge the loan and no obligation to pay it back. Therefore, he subsequently never paid a cent. Since the 100k was not a bona fide loan, it will be deemed as a donation, as this further adds 20,000 to her current donations tax payer. She now meets Nhlanhla, her current husband, and things begin innocently without him knowing that she is loaded. In August 2015, 5 months since receiving her jackpot money, her taste for the good life is overwhelming, and she now goes to withdraw the investment she made for her kids. Breaking an endowment policy is a very serious thing, and financial service providers charge huge penalties when people make premature withdrawals to their 5-year investments. She was charged a penalty fee of 455,000. This is also in addition to costs that already have been paid, so this was not a good plan. After receiving 4.5 million rands by withdrawing the investment she set up for her kids, she began changing her lifestyle again and purchased a new house worth 660,000 and also purchased a double cab Ford Ranger at 600,000. Her taste for the good life was infectious as she started throwing parties almost every week and would supply entertainment and beverages at her expense. She also took multiple family trips to Durban and really just enjoyed her life. At this point, she is spending recklessly without restraint, and it is most unfortunate to witness how the investment initially set up for the kids' future is just being consumed to amuse the public and satisfy strangers. The main problem here is that she is spending more cash than she is getting in. As a statement of some kind, she decides to throw a big party which lasted 2 days. The alcohol was free for all and the public was open to come and enjoy. This is ultra levels of waste, as she could at least control access and invite people that she is close and has a relations with. Once again, so-called friends are just taking advantage of her. At the 2-day party, Nhlanhla proposed to Moipone and they married soon after. My issue is that since she met Nhlanhla, her life has been just going down, and I believe when two people get married, they are supposed to build each other and come out stronger than before. Despite their love, their financial life became worse off as entertainment and lifestyle consumed their resources. In September, they got officially married, with more parties and good times ahead. Community members knew that if they could approach Moipone, they would get some money from her, and she obliged just like that. This was probably easy for her as she would carry around 100,000 in cash with her. To make things worse, Nhlanhla left his job, which is a very unwise move on his part. This, for me, is a contributing factor to the downfall of Moipone. Yes, perhaps he was not happy at his job, but why quit just to enjoy life? He could have studied further or did some short courses to either run the guest house business or get a better job. Well, moving on. She purchased a Quantum minibus at 220,000. Why? I'm not sure. At this point, I'm wondering what is happening to the guest house business. Where are they getting income from besides spending away the diminishing lotto winnings? She also purchased a car for her nephew to the value of 200,000. This is another donation in kind, and a further 40,000 is now payable for donations tax. Surprisingly, she also buys a VW Polo valued at 160,000 on behalf of her estate agent. How this happened is remarkable. But once again, she is being taken advantage of. This transaction was believed to be a finance lease, where Moipone buys the car and the estate agent will pay her 5,000 rand per month. She only paid once. No contract was signed, no terms or paperwork to recognize this transaction and liability. Another wrong decision by Moipone. Tax-wise, it could be seen as a donation by interpretation, but the most appropriate categorization in my point of view is that she was providing a service and it did not work well for her. So she could claim bad debts in order to get some tax benefits and relief. With a true baller mentality, she buys her husband a VW GTI valued at 280,000. He later traded the GTI for the Ford ST. She gets caught up in a tender scam with random people calling her up and convincing her to invest 500,000 so that she can benefit. Needless to say, she paid the proposed 500,000 and they disappeared. So sad this happened, and this is the reason why you should not announce yourself, as people are extremely opportunistic and can even collaborate with your loved ones to get information about you and scam money from you. With finances quickly running out, it starts to affect their relationship, and pressure to fund their living expenses leads them to try Bitcoin and some pyramid schemes. This is very desperate, and she loses 150,000 overall. As an accountant, I wish I was there to help her, particularly at this time, to give her a reality check and advise her that her lifestyle is ruining her life. She must cut down and liquidate her assets and start afresh before all hope is lost. Sadly, this was not the case, and she started getting to a point of not being able to afford basic living expenses in 2017. She decides to sell the business, citing that she and her ex-partner don't know how to run a business, which is really strange because it has been functioning well all along for at least 2 years. I further wonder how much she sold the business for. At this stage, they are selling off assets to fund their living costs. This is the final stage of their financial downfall, as things are really desperate. She sold the Welcome House at 950,000 below market value, estimated loss of 780,000. She traded in the Ford double cab for 2 cars, a BMW X5 and a Mercedes. She sold household items at undisclosed amount. These transactions attract capital gains tax. Without more information, it is difficult to determine figures, but it is important to know that when selling capital goods like property, vehicles, and etc., they attract capital gains tax. Without an accountant and tax practitioner to assist administrate this process, you could end up being in trouble with SARS for undeclared taxes such as CGT. Having made a loss on the sale of a Welcome property, there is a case of claiming capital gains tax losses to offset on any tax debt she may have. With all that she had accumulated over the years slowly disappearing, the fear of millions has completely worn off, and now logic operates in Moipone's life. She is realizing that she wasted her money and has nothing to show for it. Let this be a lesson, as this can happen to anyone. Most people think if they get a large sum of money, they will be better off and get their life in order. But the reality is that you may have good intentions and a desire to do the right thing, but unfortunately, having money without earning it is a path full of destruction, and that is why I would have advised her to only draw an income instead of spending the capital. This would have assisted her to control her spending appetite and avoid living a life that was a lie. With information revealed via the show, the most concerning and lingering issue is her situation of SARS. The lotto winnings did not get taxed. However, when she starts generating any form of income, big or small, with the winnings, that income will be subject to tax in her personal capacity. Furthermore, the guest house would also have its own tax issues to deal with as well. The most contentious issue is the donations tax payable as a result of all her generosity, which in my opinion has left her in a very bad situation. This is the estimated calculation of donations tax she could be possibly owing to SARS. I wish her all the best. There was just no hope for that money. It was literally sort of like delayed sort of realization versus instant gratification, and really that hit them to the core. That's the main thing. Entertainment is an expense, not even a luxury expense. It is literally burning money, because you drink today, tomorrow you are vomiting that money out. You eat the most expensive food today, tomorrow you are flushing it down the toilet. Consumption, that's not even in business. Meals and entertainment, those are not even tax deductible expenses. You are not given the right of enjoying tax benefits based on these things, because they are wasteful. And oh my gosh, man, guys, this is why I do what I do. I try to help people, to make them realize, have an improved relationship with money. For me, the failure is not just on her part, the failure is also on the professionals available. Not enough black professionals are coming forth, presenting themselves available to people in lower income levels. Our services are seemingly expensive. There's a narrative that we take people's money, and that's, for me, that shows that when you are dealing with somebody that is focus to assist you for the wrong reasons, that's what will happen. They're just delaying you from finishing your money, and that's why people end up having that mentality of saying, no, I'd rather let me spend my money rather than somebody else and spend my money for me. And those are the wrong attitudes, wrong relationships that we have with money, because professionals are supposed to do the right thing, but also the strive is to have a plan and to act on that plan. And oh man, this is bad, man. This is an L for the black community, man. Like, guys, I want to see less of this. As much as, yes, I'm doing this video talking about her, it's really to inspire a conversation. It's really for us to start something, to do something about the ills that we have, especially when it comes to money. Because now, once we start claiming our land, once we start going into spaces of production, we need to have the skills necessary. I'm not saying everybody needs to become an expert. Experts need to show up and do their job, but normal people need to have better money awareness. As simple as that. Whether you're gonna get 50 million, 200 million, whatever, 1,000, whatever amount of money that comes to you, you need to be in a position to use it effectively so that it helps you rather than it just entertains you. And expect more videos, guys. We'll definitely be trying to assist. Please subscribe, comment, tell me anything that you want to comment. Let's have a conversation, guys. Let's take this forward. Let's do better. Thank you to Mzazuwetu for such a show. It's heartbreaking, but we appreciate that shows like this are out there to help us as professionals, but also people need to be aware these things are happening. And this is not a South African thing, guys. It happens everywhere, even in international spaces, even in the US, third world countries. I mean, in developed countries, it happens. This is a global problem. It's not a South African problem. It's not a black people problem. All races do the exact same thing. So yeah, guys, catch you on the next one, guys.